for joining the pink room.
Yo! I was nervous. I was like,
no, I said it in my head 3 times.
Oh God, here we go. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
All right, this is episode 12.
The Uninvited.
12.
Episode 12.
Uninvited. I'm Melody, Maurice, LaFine, Mamacita Senorita. Hey.
Yep. And this episode is brought to you by Motley Child Care, Fine Dining Catering, Beezy's Lemonade, and the Montgomery Group Management Company. So, this week was, first of all, this week was good. I think this week was really good for me. What about y'all?
I had an awesome
pretty good week.
Pretty good week?
I had an awesome week and a great start to my morning.
Oh, it's so great start to your morning. Sorry.
Got things done we wanted. Got the car clean, real spiffy. Took a nice walk on Kelly Drive. Just got energy.
Just got energy.
I need some of that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So, I was thinking about, well, you want to say something?
No. I don't know.
So this week was very interesting in a lot of ways. I learned a lot about my kids.
Oh man.
Yep, I did. I learned some more about my kids. So that's the great thing about being in quarantine with them and being a substitute teacher. Because that's what we are right now. We're substitute teachers. But I also learned that dynamics of families are very, very interesting, in most parts. One thing that stood out to me this week is that I think we asked the question before in the episode is how many times do you what was that 50
How long
question?
you can love somebody who don't
How long you can love somebody, if they, when they don't love you back or something like that. But this week was interesting because it brought up a thought. And the thought was I want you guys to explain how it feels to do something, or not just do something for somebody, but just be that a support system for somebody, and then specifically family, not really friends, but specifically family. You a support system, and you're doing things for this person because out of the kindness of your heart. And then as they get older, people change and things of that nature, but they change without they change, sometimes to start doing things that it's almost like you didn't do anything for them almost.
You know what? I think you should. I think it's like it's just like friends.
Okay, explain.
It's it don't have to be. It's family, but it's like friends. You be there for your friend, and then you feel like, what happened to the friendship?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It kind of disappeared.
Yeah, it kind of disappeared. That happens.
Oh, okay.
But how do you feel?
I mean, that's the point. I mean, that's the thing. I think when it happens with friends, it's kind of like, okay, it's friends. They're here for seasons, but when you have a different family dynamic, when you call somebody your family or they are your family, it's like you can't treat them as a friend, quote unquote, right? You can?
Oh yes.
Oh, explain.
No, I don't treat them. I tried my best not to treat my family like my friends, or like not necessarily like my friends. I can't say that because I treat my friends like family.
Okay.
But I try not to treat my family like how I treat strangers or people I don't know, people I don't love. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because I'm not as friendly and I'm not as patient. I'm not as nice with people that I don't love or know when they kind of irritate me or when they feel like they disrespectful. I'm not nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I try not to treat my family like that. It builds up for me. If I ever blew up, it's because it was building up. I didn't say anything when I should have probably. I didn't nip something in the bud. and now I'm, even though it might seem small,
it's
I blow up when it seems so small, and then you might feel like
the thing though, the light, you just lit the match.
Yeah.
But all the tinder and all that stuff was already there.
Yeah, it was already there, but because you're not addressing it, you should sometimes, That's the type of person I am, because I don't like confrontation or whatever. So I don't care who you are, what your title is, none of that. I don't care. If you're not bringing, if you're bringing drama to my life, if you're bringing negativity to my home, to my children, anything, then you cannot be around me. I don't thrive like that. Like, I can't thrive like that, and I can't live that way. So.
Because you got enough to deal with already.
Yeah,
right.
and then you know what? Just for being alive.
Right. Your own personal stuff. Not your husband's, not your children's, not your house. Like your own personal.
Without adding nobody else.
That's right.
And you're supposed to deal with it because you love them or you family.
No, and I just don't
deal with it or whatever.
I just don't anymore. And I used to be like, the only thing I might have done with family, which I also want to stop, is do the back and forth thing. We're not talking. We're not talking. Well, I'm not doing that no more.
Yeah, that's what.
I'm not going to do that anymore. You don't want to be in my life, then go.
Yeah.
I'm not chasing nobody. I'm not, and then I'm not trying to have nobody chase me. You know what I mean? If we want to have a relationship, we can talk, we can communicate.
I was about to say, don't have to be a dingo. Learn how to have a proper communication conversation to meet whatever issues y'all have.
Exactly. But you know what? When you talk about, everybody had their own communication style.
Keith Montgomery.
Hi.
What's up, Keith?
Hey, cousin.
When you have your own communication style, so but my thing is that there is what they call a normalcy for communication. Like, how long do you not say nothing? For me personally, I usually say things pretty quickly unless it's deep. Then what I do is I kind of give myself a time limit, how I'm working it out of my head and who I need to communicate it to, because you want to get the best result.
Yeah.
You want to resolve the issue. That's the point of the conversation. I don't need to yell at you. You don't need to yell at me to give a good result. The point is that you need, but the point is that not saying nothing, I feel it is worse. But
that silence.
Right,
you boiling.
I think that's worse than having an argument. At least you got it out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But
that's how things come out wrong, because you sitting there with boiling and the other person don't really know you boiling, or don't care or not paying attention and whatever.
Correct.
And then you want to come off all angry.
And then you look crazy. Like,
you the angry one.
No matter how you explain it to them, they're not gonna hear because you.
Right.
Blew up.
Correct.
But you know what? Also, too, it's so funny because you know how you look at these. I look at all these reality shows. It's crazy. And even I realized not even just reality shows, the other shows too. Like when we started watching, what was that show we started watching? The old show, Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
And it's just like I've been watching how people communicate, and I got to tell you, when I first started, when they first started doing the reality shows. And one of the things that the reality shows taught me, for real, is to communicate even though you might not be so close. Because typically, if you're not that close, I usually just kind of leave you where you at or whatever and go on about my business. But it taught me that you can even communicate to those people, just so there won't even be that bad energy and this, that, and the other. But what I'm also learning is, and I already felt this.
Is at the door.
Oh, shucks. They come in the door.
Somebody ring your doorbell.
Go ahead.
Hold on.
We're still live, so go ahead. What you think?
I can talk to her from here. That's okay.
No, she might want to join.
But the
I have a special guest.
The thing is too is that I feel like we got a special.
Look at that, guys.
Make some space on me. Watch
She came in here with hot all around.
Hey, what's up?
Like everybody know about that. Looking like somebody's ringing your doorbell. Come on, Jan.
Yes. Hey, Facebook family.
And that's how you join the you deal with when you feel like you've done things to support people and family specifically, and then they kind of like ghost you or treat you real bad or misinterpret how you treated them, even and giving your support. Everything is just negative in how they give you support. But what I was saying was also when I feel like when you have conversations with someone, like we talking about communicating right up front. Not letting things drag out months and months. But when you communicate with people, then when they communicate with you and you communicate with them, it's a factual thing too. It's just not your feelings.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Then acknowledge the facts.
Right.
Yeah.
Acknowledge the facts, and then people can move forward. But if you keep saying no, that ain't what it was, and you know that's what it was.
Yeah.
Then
And
how can you move forward?
Yeah, and it's a bunch of talking in circles and circles.
Yes.
Yes.
When you're talking with facts, there is no circle.
That's right.
There's just
You just want your
facts.
emotions.
It's too much talking in circles, like you said.
Yeah.
And you know what's so funny? I was just telling Maurice before we turned the cameras on, because I was watching a reality show. And the girl was talking about that the guy was giving like the signs and everything. And the one girl was a Capricorn or something. He was talking about Capricorn. Then he said, but the one thing is you have an Aquarius rising, which I am. And he said, but when you're very logical. And when you talk to you and when you come to a person like you have to come with facts. That's how I am. You have to come with facts.
Yeah,
if you go say, well, you always do this, and you always, what did I say? What did I do? If you can't tell me what I said I did, I'm not trying to hear the shit from you. And that's just how I am. And a lot of people don't like that, but hey, God made all of us the way He made us, and that's just how I am. Now you should be able to validate what you said.
Yeah, I think that's a great question though. From there, like, what do you do, or how do you navigate them relationships when you have people that bring up stuff that they say you did that may or may without any facts, but that may,
So if it's not factual, it's what they feel you
what
did.
they feel that you did, and without giving like any type of example, but then expect you to understand. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes, but see, I'm that type of person. I don't remember facts, dates, times, but I remember how you made me feel. You know what I mean? And I remember that I said that ain't gonna ever happen again. You know what I mean? And then if it does, and you're making me feel that way again, it's come bringing it up, then I may blow up.
Well, see, you know what?
But I don't,
But you don't have to have dates and times.
Correct.
But you should have the situation.
A general.
Hold up, and
you
then,
remember
and
a general
then,
of
and then,
what happened.
Listen to this.
You might not remember that happened last week at 2 o'clock p.m.
But you made me feel like shit.
Then I should remember what made me
When
feel.
that moment was.
But not just that. When you communicated, okay, let's just say that's the way you communicate. You made me feel like shit. I'm sorry I made you feel like shit.
Then it should be over.
It should be over.
Right.
Because they don't know.
You know why it ain't over? Because you really didn't dump.
Right.
Yeah.
You just said you made me feel like shit. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, like what is it? Like what is it that
What did I
did?
do? Because that's another thing too.
Yeah,
You
so I
still
can-
leave me in the dark
so I can-
because I can still be acting that way and not know what the heck.
And then
you're
but
talking
you
about.
know what though? I think that also makes it unfair to the person that you accusing, because now they're leaving them in the dark. Now that I gotta walk on eggshells when I'm around you because I don't know what I did, but I think I did this, and that like just
you hold up
communication.
either that
Yeah.
or you say fuck it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everybody will walk on eggshells.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. So it's like
Especially after you get to that point where we was having that question. How long do you love? Especially after you feel like you done did it.
correct.
Okay,
Yeah, I done did my
no
best.
more egg walking for you.
Yeah.
Correct. And that I think that's one of the biggest things. But so the fine. Does anybody ever bring up anything continue to bring up anything that they feel but don't have any solid reasonings behind?
They haven't verified, and clarified to you what you've done. But even if they did do that, you thought you apologized and was moving forward.
Yeah.
Does that
And
work?
then now that you turn around and hear the shit come back again, the bullshit.
Well, first of all, did that ever happen to you?
No. Most of y'all, like now that everybody, no, not since nothing I can remember. I feel like now that we got to the point where all of us are clear that this is how we need to do it, it's been that way. And before that, I probably was too young to even remember.
Okay.
So we've been talking about long enough to give examples. It's been years to give examples. This is the example lady. You can't not give examples. Everybody give examples. So no.
So what about you, cuz?
Of course, I've had my share of people saying things just very general, and I would like to say that I would like to believe that I'm a factual person, but I also understand that not always is perception reality, and it might be your perception but not my reality, and for that fact I will have to apologize, but my expectation is once I apologize, we move forward.
Can
we don't
Can we move
right.
forward?
Don't keep bringing up that same issue again over and over.
Right.
And that's not didn't make an adjustment.
Well, that's like the thing with the whole Jasmine's so disrespectful. I'm 35 now. I probably was disrespectful at 19, 20. Let that stuff go because I'm not that woman anymore. But some people don't.
And I got to stop right there. You are not.
Definitely not, cuz.
I think
You leveled up.
I'm mature.
But that's
I grew up a little bit, but I still fight.
But the thing is that that part of who you are is not that it disappeared. Oh,
Right.
she can come visit you.
And she can.
It don't take just a push of a button now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gotta hold up, you gotta turn me a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
It's not
I
just
get
a
that
flip.
same thing.
Yeah.
But
Disrespectful, or you don't know how to talk to me.
Right.
You don't know. I get that same thing.
See, the
I
thing
feel
about
that's
that
not really
label is once you get it, it's very hard to switch it.
Yeah, it is.
So what I struggle with even today, and I just was having a phone conversation with one of my friends, is I feel like every time I express myself to my family, it's automatic I'm disrespectful.
Yeah,
it don't matter what my approach is, what my tone is. The moment I start to explain how I feel and what you did to hurt me, then it's, oh, you snapping, bitch, you crazy, you always, here we go again. And it's like, well, but that wasn't, I didn't call you out your name. I just said, I don't like what you did. Or I don't like what you're doing, so stay away from me.
I don't like what you did. This is what you did.
Exactly.
Now hold up. When you told me that, and I said to myself, I did do that.
Right.
Then what's the argument about?
Because people
But if I
don't
say to
like
myself, well, wait a minute,
Yeah.
when I do that?
So, but the thing is, so how long do you keep them type of relationships per se? So like say that's
I don't keep it long.
Till
your wick has burned out.
Listen, you see my wick is
Yeah.
my wick is so short.
He ain't got that
You got a warmer.
I got a warmer. You already burnt me out. I don't have the strength. The energy. I have to, because you know, like you said, you already dealing with yourself mentally, whatever is going on in there. So it's like, for me, I'm already trying to be positive. And like you said, I have an attitude, or I say I can't.
They say you have an attitude.
Well, yeah, but sometimes you do.
No, but like Jasmine said, sometimes you have that.
You know
What they call that? Your the way
Like
you
a
are,
reputation.
your reputation.
Yeah, you know, and I know that I'm highly irritable, right? I wake up irritated for real. So it's just like okay, I'm already focusing so much energy onto pressing that down, trying to be better. That I can't deal with you putting any of your stuff on me, any of your feelings that ain't even real. You just coming out of nowhere. I have no patience for it.
Right.
And it's not that I cut you off, but I distance.
Right.
But you know what? It's not even. You know, sometimes people need to vent, but sometimes I feel like people need to learn how to vent. I understand you have feelings. Guess what? We all have feelings.
Right.
We all have come from somewhere that's not good during the course of our lives. You understand what I'm saying? But the truth of the matter is that as you get older, you should be able to communicate. Is it to communicate to make things better, or just for you to be fucking venting all the time? We know we need to vent sometimes, but goddamn, all the time. It's never a time for repair with this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just constant
Confrontation.
Yeah, definitely.
And I can't live like that.
I think.
And hold up, and it comes back to the question.
Correct.
How long? Melody said, she ain't got a wig.
I
I have a very long wig for family.
Me too. Yeah.
I do not have a long wig for people outside of the oikos.
Yeah.
I do not. I don't even entertain it at all. Listen at this. You don't even have to. Listen. You don't even have to do it to me. I can observe you doing the bullshit.
To somebody else, right?
And then you can turn around and say hi, and I just like you and say hi.
Right.
I don't even have to start this.
Let's not even light it.
We the lighter. We ain't got one.
Oh my God.
Mm-mm.
So Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. So tell us, are you guys when people vent, how short is your wig? How short is your
I
wig?
think also when you vent, you should, depending on who you doing it with, you should ask do they even have the emotional space to hear that.
That's a great statement.
No,
Answer the phone. Hello. Hey, man.
Let me tell you. No.
Hold up,
Wait a minute. Do you have emotional space to hear this shit?
Are you in the mood for this?
Right, or even if you have a certain.
No, hold up. How about
I gotta
this?
talk to you about something,
Right.
and then I can decide. You know what? I'm busy.
You know
Yeah.
what?
You know what? Yeah, I got some time. Let me put the baby down. You be screaming in my ear, my baby here. Listen. you know
Oh,
what
too
I'm
much
walking
going
with.
on.
Hold up. No, you know what's so funny? I do that the opposite way. Phone ring. Bling, bling. Oh, that's a, not today.
Oh, see, I just don't
Because you know how, no. Because
Maybe I just wishful thinking. Maybe you're calling me just to offer me
Maybe
something.
you never know, right? It might be this one time.
Hey,
No.
It might be that one
I got
time.
a plate for you or something.
It might be that one time. You never know.
that's why you get that text. Call me or I got play. But I'm just saying. No, but the thing is that a lot of times you know how certain people are, just the same way they know how you are, right?
Right.
Most people know that you short-wicked.
Right.
Most people know I don't fuck with people outside our circle. Most people, I'm nice. I do anything for anybody, but I just don't fuck with certain people. Just certain people just irk me.
I think when it comes to picking who you gonna vent to, like I have a small circle, but I have a lot of family that's in my circle. So I got my brother Sean, I got you, I got my girlfriend, I think it depends on the situation, and your conscience should tell you who you
call.
vent out to.
Well,
like
you should have that relationship already. They should know.
Right.
They
Like I
should
know, all right, if I call, you or you with babies and I got a whole hour vent session, you probably ain't even gonna be able to give me the attention and focus that I need. And I'm gonna probably get pissed off too. I'm talking to you and you ain't offering up no damn help.
Hold on, was you listening to me? You can tell us telling and I'm hearing you.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
Or them friends that you call them to vent and then it turns into their vent session.
Oh,
And
they
it's
done
like,
took your event session over. Take your event session over.
Sometimes that help. You got some drama too thick, guys.
It's not just me.
Everybody has drama.
I don't have no drama.
Everybody.
I go to work and I go home. Nothing happens because I mind my business. People who mind their business don't have no drama.
I'm not convinced of that.
You think
I'm not
I don't have no drama?
convinced. I think because you have a large family, you have drama.
No, they
She's
got
talking about
drama.
personal drama.
Oh, okay.
They got
Personal
drama.
and your
And they try to bring it to me.
Right.
Okay. And then you like,
No, but
my wick is already there.
You already on a warmer. Ain't no wick in this candle. It's on a warmer.
I'm like, okay.
She got the same stick for everybody.
I do.
No, but see, my thing is
No,
though.
like with my family, their warmer is a little bit broke, so it take a longer time to warm up.
That's deep. That's deep now.
You know, like you said, my wick is long family. Your warmer is a little bit. It take longer to warm up, but it still be. You still don't have no wick. It still won't melt.
So the question is though, when you have people that call, let's say family or friends, in this case, you have family or friends that call, but when they call, it's just it's just like you said, you look at the phone when you don't answer, whatever the case is.
No, I'm
But
saying,
there's
because you
always
know
drama.
mentally,
Yes.
I'm not for this.
Mhm.
I don't care. They might have something different.
Correct.
And it might be something different, but that'll come back around if that's so.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is that a lot of times, you really kind of know what the content
Correct.
and the context
Right.
is of your relationship.
Mhm.
And I don't feel like that today. Maybe once the kids settle down, I'll give her a call back or something like that.
Yeah, but so my thing is, where do you? So let's just say, for instance, it's a family member, right? And nobody wants to be dumped on, just dumping on, right?
Right.
You want to get to it. Sometimes you want to get to spread it out.
Spread it out.
Sometimes you want to get to a
Or
point.
somebody else.
You want to get to a point where where the relationships that you do have, like. You want to say all of them are positive, but that's not reality. All of them, our relationships are not going to be positive.
And not all the time.
Yeah, and not all the time.
But for the most part.
True.
For the most part.
Right.
But the thing about it is that let's just say, for instance, somebody's in your life, somebody's out your life, somebody's in your life, somebody's out, and not from your aspect, but because they decided.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They in your life, they out your life, they in your life, out your life. But when do we get to a point where you just say,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
these
When
are
you're
the
with them,
these are the
You ain't
scissors.
coming back. The bridge is burnt. You
Yeah.
ain't coming back over the
Yeah.
bridge. Once you
That's
leave, the
enough.
bridge is burnt.
It's like it's just like in a relationship.
Mhm.
The husband cheat, he bring him back. The husband cheat, he bring him back.
Mhm.
It's like, okay, when
it's
you
enough,
finish,
enough. Right.
it's finished.
Right.
See, it's not always up to the person that's going back and forth.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I guess because you're allowing them
Yeah,
to
you're
Right.
keep coming back and forth.
Right. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? At some point, they feel like they have that option anytime they get ready.
Right.
But then it's up to you to decide how you want to move forward in your relationship. And it's funny that you say that because it's like I had a question. It was right there, but it went out of my head.
It'll
just
come
now.
back to you.
It'll come back to me. But the thing is that I feel like both parties have a choice.
Yeah, we talked about that before. We always got a choice.
Yeah, but a lot of times when things are going in, like for instance, if the man is always cheating, if the person is not speaking to you today, speaking to you tomorrow,
Yeah.
all the times that you do that, they feel like they have control
Right.
over how the thing is going. She forgave me before. You know what I'm saying? This, that, and the other.
You on Facebook, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. We good.
Okay.
So the thing is that, at some point they feel like they have control, and then for some people they feel like they don't have any control. It's like, oh, this is my life, But at some point, whenever you decide.
Yeah, when there's enough is enough.
That's remind me of, y'all seen the video of Steve Harvey where he said, you gotta eliminate those type of people out your life. When you come to make that type of decision, you go through your phone, you put a red dot by all the people you want to get rid of. That's like that. They call it as just drama.
Mm-hmm.
You go through your phone, you find somebody that always got good news for you, good energy. Put green dot, and then whatever. And the people that's just in the middle, like that's okay. They can stay yellow dot, whatever. Then you go through, you delete all your red dots. And you just find that you have more positive energy in your life.
That's
Period.
all. That's all I need.
And you know what
I
else?
wonder if I
too?
actually did that. Though. How many people?
How many people actually delete?
I actually started doing that.
Okay, like
Yeah, I didn't go. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I might have to go through my
I
whole
actually
phone.
started. I went through my Facebook. I went through my
I'm not saying
phone.
guys,
You did.
This
I
is my
did.
life. Y'all just
I
get
did.
into it. I'd be in there like this.
That's easy.
You said
Delete.
that.
I don't need to go red dot.
I've been,
Delete.
yeah. I've been living like that. I got 5 people. I got my family members and my 2 friends. Listen, if I'm not contacting you, I don't need your number.
Right.
You don't need mine.
Right.
You know what I mean? What you calling me for?
Right.
What do you want? You only asking me for something or you I ain't got nothing for you.
Hold up, but you know what too? This is the funny part. You know how you meet somebody. The first thing out of somebody's mouth, typically, especially if it's a man-woman thing, is I'm drama free. Everybody drama free. I always make the joke in my head. Well, if everybody drama free, where's the drama coming from?
Exactly.
So we have to also remind ourselves, as we're saying, we don't want you to bring us the drama.
Correct.
That we don't bring the drama.
Yeah.
We have to remind ourselves of that too, because
Right.
your drama may not be my drama, might not know. But if my drama is not drama to me,
Uh-huh.
but I bring it to you and you say it's drama to you, then you should have the courtesy enough to tell me so.
Yeah, and you gotta respect
Then
it.
this way, I won't bring the drama to you.
Right.
Correct.
I find that I'm a third person to vent to, because sometimes you know who you want to call to get the outcome or get
what
the
you,
real.
You want them to say what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I recently had
They
a
had a tooted and booted.
Tooted?
Oh, what's up, Jess? That's Jess.
I recently had that
I like that.
that
Hi,
conversation with a family member, won't say no names, recently, and I went through a situation and I reached out to one individual instead of her. And they called me and was like, well, why didn't you call me and tell me? And I feel some type of way. And I was like, wait a minute, first of all, that wasn't about you.
Yeah.
That was about me. And what I did was my village. I knew I was dealing with something. So I reached out to the person that I knew could really help me.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that you feel like it wasn't you, but you ain't about to put that on me.
But you said the situation
Because-
was about her, but
No,
but
the
the
situation was
conversation
me and my family and what I got
Hold
going
on,
on.
did she just insert herself into your situation?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Now you see where I'm
That's
going, right?
crazy.
Because I thought you said,
No, but the way that she inserted herself in her situation.
hold up, why
Wait. So does that mean the person that you did go to talk to told that person?
No, I posted it on Facebook.
It
and
doesn't matter.
It
It doesn't
said,
matter.
thank you for being there. I went through a challenging week, XXX, and then I got this phone call.
You
like,
want to be her only friend?
No, you
and
know,
that's
I
what
was
it
like,
sounds like to me.
instantly insulted because I was like, to me, it just was like the selfishness of some people that you don't even come from a place of compassion.
Exactly.
What's going on that you had to, call on to this person? Tell me it was like, well, why you ain't call me? Excuse me? Now that
because they think they had the better answer.
but you don't even know what the hell was going on.
Because the situation you have, you don't even know what the situation is about.
Right.
You can have more
That's
than
crazy.
one person.
Oh,
Yes.
let's give a shout out to the uninvited. She just inserted herself.
Me
No,
and that other person.
we're not gonna say no names, but that's
Right.
crazy. You don't do that.
Right.
Yo, you know who you are. Don't do that. They're probably watching right now.
Hold up, which is the problem.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is the problem though.
Yeah.
The thing is that I can't manage my life the way I want to manage my life without you saying something. I know what my question is.
You apologize for that.
Hold up. I got a question.
I'm sorry that made you feel. I'm not. What, girl? I'm not apologizing for that.
Well, here's the thing, and back to what I said earlier.
Mhm.
Sometimes perception versus reality.
Okay.
That wasn't my reality, but that
Okay.
was your perception. You took my situation and made it about you and took it personally. And because I love you and I care for you, and even though I don't think that I did anything wrong, I'm still going to apologize just for the simple
But how many
fact
times
that
do you
it-
apologize for that sort of
That's
stuff
what I'm
too?
saying, yeah.
Because listen at this. That also conditions people to feel like they can continue to be like that.
Yeah.
Not just with you, but with other people because ain't nobody else never tell them that.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm not apologizing unless I feel like I'm wrong.
Yes.
Or
That's what I'm
hold up.
saying.
Not just that I'm wrong. I don't have to be wrong. But what I did that don't even have to be wrong affected you in a certain way. I'm sorry that it made you feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
I will apologize for that. I'm just not willy-nilly apologizing to your fucking asses.
Yeah, but then it's like, how many times I apologize for how you feel? Straighten yourself up.
Right.
Get it together. Because your
Right.
feelings, you all over the place. Everything
I think I
somebody
do it more
does-
so just to keep the peace.
Yeah,
Like
but-
to diffuse the
Right,
situation,
let's just get it over with.
from getting to, because
But
I could have
okay,
responded
let me
like,
ask
But
you
is that, but
No,
is that a genuine apology?
Hold up. No.
Huh?
Is that a genuine apology or
No,
just like, all
forget
right,
the
cool,
genuine
all right.
apology. This is what I want to know. So you apologize to keep the peace,
Mhm.
but the person feel like you didn't highlight to them how they were moving really affected you.
I did.
And most of them, I know,
Right.
because you apologized.
Right.
And a lot of other people been apologizing too to her,
Right.
whoever
Right.
it is.
Right.
Okay, so now what I'm saying is that when they roll back your way again with the same bullshit, don't get mad at them
Yeah,
and don't get mad at them. Get mad at you because you apologize to keep the peace. I'm not keeping no fucking peace no more. How about that? I'm not
I
apologizing.
think that
for
component
stuff.
is just accepting. So we, we have family, friends, loved ones that, for the most part, I'm connected to my family very heavily. So for me to cut an immediate family member off, you got to do some downright low down
dirty shame stuff.
But a part of me accepting who my immediate family is, I might disagree with some of their flaws and I might not be okay with it. But so that I can have a healthy relationship, I have to control when and when not, what I accept and what I don't, and how far I allow our confrontations or conversations to go. So if that means
you don't get mad when they treat you the same way.
No, this particular person, I know that this is just the nature of our relationship.
I'm talking about
people in general.
No, not in general.
Family, right?
When they treat you the same way.
I think that's just a part of accepting who they are.
Oh,
but at the same token, I am going to draw a line with how close I let them get in.
Like,
they are, and
that's
there's
what we was talking about. Let me see your time going to see this person.
Right.
Don't go out so much.
Right.
Off the whatever.
Boundaries. Right.
Yeah,
create boundaries within the relationship.
Right.
My therapist told me that a long time ago. Sometimes your relationships, you have to control it by the boundaries that you create.
Yeah. Right.
So even though they're your family and you want them to be a part of your life and your children's lives, sometimes you can't let them come but so close because they're gonna start taking advantage. They're gonna start emotionally abusing, and then it's gonna create all this conflict.
Right.
So
like everybody can't do what Jazz did today. Just pop up at the house.
No,
Everybody can't do it.
So wait a minute. Let me say that. Don't try it. Don't try it.
But hold up. Forget the uninvited, the unseen. Everything. Don't do it.
Like, yo, we recording right now. Go ahead.
We still at 5 o'clock. We still
At the door like, no, everybody can't pop up.
That's a very true statement.
That is.
That's a very true statement.
Especially with this group.
You know what type of relationship you got.
Boundaries,
You can't be just popping
right.
up on certain people.
Especially with this group.
Like, what the heck?
Oh yeah, Melody definitely got call first. I'd be like,
You don't let nobody pop up? Me either.
Listen, I had
will
strict
not open
because,
the
like I
door.
said, my piece is the only thing I had. Just strict. Everybody, so nobody feel no type of way. Confidence, thank you.
So I want you guys to think about your pet peeve.
Hey, my question came again and went.
What? Oh, that was
I was trying to get out. You were saying something.
So I want you guys to share your relationship pet peeve. So share your relationship.
perfect time.
Is that person
I'm single. No man.
And it don't have to be a man and woman. It could be a relationship.
All right, any relationship.
Oh, okay.
So share your relationship pet peeve.
Oh, before you do that, I have a question.
Mhm.
While you think about your relationship pet peeve, I have a question.
Go ahead.
God darn it.
Did you not? Oh my God!
Did you forget it?
Yo, she just forgot
Look
it.
at it again.
Just ask the question when it comes to you. No matter what's going on.
Interrupt.
Do we get to be right?
You should you
I know, right?
Give me the book.
That's what happens when you're trying to siphon through the fucking shit.
Too many trap doors in that brain. Like, doop, doop, doop.
So we going back to your question.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah.
What was the question?
So the question is, well, not a question, just share your relationship pet peeve. So whatever relationship it is, you can share multiple pet peeves if you have multiple pet peeves. What type of relationship you're sharing a pet peeve about. All right, Fonny. You go first. That one.
Relationship.
That's hard.
Relationship pet peeve.
Okay, well.
I don't.
I'm crazy.
No, you don't?
Because I don't be with that many people.
Yeah,
So I just be, I don't know.
Yeah, she got a short list too, like Melody.
Yeah.
I think, cause she got 2 friends. She got.
That's all I need. What I need
Oh no! Shout out to Kelly, Ashley, and Kyla, and Michelle.
That's it.
It's too much feelings. I just don't understand.
Then you start intertwining circles and
Oh.
people start beefing.
Oh my God! And
Man.
we had that issue.
No, that's another. That's another
Yeah.
big one.
That's a pet
Don't
peeve.
intertwine
Mix of friends.
Yeah.
We had that issue.
Yeah,
Mix
y'all
of
can write that
friends.
down and let that be a subject.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
At your
understand that.
house is the only time. Outside, no.
Mhm.
So I guess my relationship pet peeve, like I guess for a spouse or my spouse, my significant other, is I don't even know if this is a pet peeve, but maybe this is, I don't know. I don't think that he's as thoughtful as I am. I think lately he has been trying to be, but like even with gift giving and stuff like that, I feel like I put more thought and more feeling and more, into it, and then I just get whatever. The best you can
You
do.
just piggyback off my pet peeve though.
But wait a minute, isn't that a part of what Jasmine was talking
Is that
about?
a pet
Part of accepting who he is. Okay, he don't give good gifts.
No.
No, that's
You
not
gotta
the
be
same
better.
thing.
No,
You
I
have
don't
to
think
put
that's the
better
same
effort.
thing.
I'm
Okay,
asking
I
that.
got something. I got one.
Not even do better. I deserve more than what you're doing.
Yeah.
So do
Yes.
like I just get
Do
the,
better.
I just get the
Yeah.
best that you can do. Is that the best you really could do? Because
Right.
you need to up your best.
Right.
No. So sometimes I feel like that, but I don't know if that's is that
Go
a
this way.
Go that way.
That's true. I know. That is one. I got one too. And since we talk about spouses, since you brought a spouse, I got one. My husband do not do things right when I ask him.
Oh.
It takes hours, or it'll take 10 minutes, an hour, a week. Just do it when I ask you to do
Because
it.
when I asked you, I wouldn't have done that.
Right.
Hold on,
But
hold
then-
on, no,
but
hold
when-
on.
but
Let
when
me
he asked
interject.
me-
Hold on. Let me
Let her
interject.
finish that pet peeve. But when he asked me, it's like, did you order the stuff I asked you to order?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Dude.
Wanted to be done ASAP.
Yeah.
right.
So, but let me interject. Are you asking or are you telling?
I'm asking.
That's just a general.
Now I got a question. What
That-
difference do that make?
Because
if you
that's
telling
how
me-
extra men are.
if you telling
You're
me-
not gonna be telling me what to do.
Yeah, I think that's corny.
Yeah.
Weird over.
Telling me.
Didn't you tell me?
That's definitely the pick.
It is.
Perfect silence.
That was a noise filler. A silent filler.
She just pulled a Wendy Williams.
Oh, shucks, I just heard that
No,
other day.
but I think the difference is sometimes if you're asking, if you're asking, then that gives room to do it.
No.
When you if you're asking, that gives room to do it. Okay, I'll do it later. I'll do it then. But if you're telling, then that's something different. You're saying that we want it done right
No,
now.
No, I'm asking
Also-
you to do it right now.
Also, no, wait a minute, stop.
No.
What Maurice is saying is
No.
this. No, wait a minute.
What are you saying?
That-
Is confused.
No, I'm not
No.
confused.
I'm asking to be nice. I'm not asking because I'm.
No, but see, y'all don't understand what he's saying.
I
I
do.
get
No, if y'all did, y'all wouldn't be still
Y'all wouldn't
saying
be
the
saying
same
it.
thing. Let me clarify. What Maurice is saying, he's not saying it in the way that we took it the first time. He's saying, if you're asking me to do it, he's saying I can work on my own time.
Correct.
But if you're telling me to do it as my wife, then it's I need to get up and do it.
Correct.
He's not saying it in the way we thought.
No,
he
I
was.
understood when he said that, and I'm saying normally when I ask you, I'm just being nice.
Oh man.
So stop asking, just tell me.
I mean that's
Because I be trying to be like.
well that
I'm
didn't do it. They,
I'm gonna tap into my femininity.
but no, but that's a situation. Oh my God! That's a meow in your voice.
But I don't get why you're saying that. But what I'm asking you to do it right now.
No, but he's saying you shouldn't
You
ask.
should
should
ask
tell.
then. You
Why
should
should you
ask.
tell?
Hold up,
Then people
well,
be like,
I just know.
polite.
But you know
that's
what?
what I'm thinking, man.
Okay,
But you know
ask.
what's so funny? It's just accepting what he's saying. It's for him.
Mm.
He's saying for him. If you ask me to do it, it's at my leisure. If you're
Correct.
telling me to do it, I'm gonna get up and do it because my wife told me to do it.
Correct.
That's
Correct.
what, but what you
Well, that's
saying?
your relationship.
That's like all men think that way.
No, they don't.
Because
No,
why
they don't.
Why would you ask your husband don't do it? Well, my ass.
No. She said don't. She didn't say don't. She didn't say don't do it. She said she
do
doing what he want. That was what
But
she
I'm saying
And
said.
that one could be a month later. That's 2 months. That's too long for one.
Hold up.
So
So
how often do women complain about that? And mostly every relationship, I ask my husband to do this around the house, and it's still not done. That seems like to be a consensus between men. If you ask me,
no.
even if you tell me sometimes that is when I want to do it.
But I'm just saying the way that he's describing it. I feel like what we were thinking at first was they never want to be told what to do.
Yeah.
So that's different than what Maurice is saying right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Demand versus request. Are you demanding that I do it right now?
Right.
Or are you requesting?
Is it on
that
my
I do
honey-do
it right
list?
now? Right.
Or is
Some
it
people
my
don't
weekly
do
list?
well.
You know,
Do well
yeah.
with taking demands from women.
Especially, yeah. And,
Well-
and that's for you to negotiate
that person.
when
Right.
you're dating,
Right.
and then
Right.
once you marry him,
But I think that too. I think that but that just goes back to communication.
Mm-hmm.
So like for instance, like my wife know that when I'm in my clean mode, like if I'm in my mode, I got my boots on or whatever, like this is a good time to ask me to do stuff. Like this is a good time to ask me to do. So ask me whatever you need to ask, I will do it right now.
Right.
But if once I kick these boots off and I get in my recline, don't ask me to.
Yeah.
Can you saw this wood? The answer is going to be no. So, for instance,
Right.
I give you an example. I had just came from doing a project at a building, right? And Rena know that if I still got my work clothes on, this is a great time. So I'm like, well, she's like, all right, cool. She's like, can you cut this wood for me for this shelf? I'm like, all right, cool. So I go down there, hook up my board, put my joint, clamp it down, get my saw.
So Maurice got all sorts of tools.
Said, shoo, right? I said, is that it? She said, well, I got some other ones, but I ain't putting no lines on it. No. What you don't understand is that I'm not cutting no more after today. Like if you want this cut for this, give it to me right now. So what she did, she went upstairs, gathered it, measured it all out, and brought it down to me, and I cut it right there. Because I told her, I said, like, my thing is, I might not feel like doing it tomorrow. I got other stuff I want to do tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like doing this. But I think that all just comes down with communication. Y'all have to understand and speak.
Knowing each other.
Know each other.
Hold up, but you know what too?
Hmm?
It all comes back to even that first part of our conversations about having that communication. But wait a minute. Being able to stop with, I need to talk to you about this because this is really bothering me. And then say what it is, and then that other person, aka the husbands in this case, they should be able to accept that.
Right.
And then change and move forward.
Yeah.
But it's something about not being able to, first of all, accept that it took you a week to do that. I told you bring the bag up yesterday.
Right.
It took you. It's still down there today. It was 2 weeks ago. And then express to them how irritated that make you feel.
Correct.
See, that's what I mean by example.
Yeah,
You
that's a great
irritates
example.
the fuck out of me.
And that's a great example.
Because every time I ask you to fucking do something, you always say at your time, or you don't say nothing. It's at your time. But then when you ask me to do something, you want me to fucking jump out of bed in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? Stop that shit.
But that's a lack of communication. I think that's where it needs to be. Like that's a great
No, yeah, but
example.
stop.
You gotta give that example at that time when it's
That's
fresh
right.
and hot.
Right.
When it's fresh and hot, or whatever. So it can't be no. Well, I don't remember that. It just happened 30
Yeah,
seconds ago.
right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Like you can't you can't play
And
it
it's
like
a shame. It's a shame that you feel that you got to give it to them just when it happened because you remember what fucking happened last
Exactly.
week.
So,
I
yeah, people
hate
crack me up.
right.
And then you got selective memory. Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You don't remember now. Okay. All right.
I really sometimes don't know. It can just happen. I'll be like, it did?
So share what was your pet peeve?
I gave mine.
What was your pet peeve?
No, I didn't give mine.
You ain't give yours. I want to hear yours. Yeah. Your relationship pet peeve.
All right, so my biggest pet peeve in any relationship, love, family, doesn't matter,
Okay.
is disingenuousness.
That's a great word.
Like,
Can y'all spell that on Facebook? Disingenuous. Genuineness.
I think that's how you say it.
That's it. But I don't know how to spell it though.
I can't stand when people do things or say things or act a certain way and it's fake. Like, I can't. Don't do anything for me and you really didn't want to do it.
Ooh.
Don't call me and you really ain't want to do it. Don't be my listening ear and you really ain't want to do it. Don't do that. Because that's, for me, that's like a...
But I think that's a fine line though. Because I feel like we don't always want to do things for people and want to do it.
So here's my discrepancy. I just had a conversation with another person this week. about doing things even when we don't want to do them.
Yeah, it's called friendship.
I may not do the specific thing because I really don't feel like doing it, but I'm gonna do it for the sake of our relationship.
Yes.
To compromise. To me, that's still genuine.
Oh,
That's
okay.
still genuine.
Okay.
Genuine
All
is like, well,
All right.
damn, she need me to go give her a ride or take her there, but
And
I
you
really
talking
don't
shit,
feel like
you talking
it.
shit the whole time you
Yeah.
driving over there, right?
That's like when you offer.
And then
you
why
need
you
anything else?
That's
And
like-
then you really
You
don't
really
want them
don't
to need
mean
anything
that.
else.
Yeah. Don't say that to me.
Right, right.
You really, because I really might
When
feel
I
like
start
anything
saying what I
else.
really need, you be like,
Yeah.
oh, man, I really didn't want her to say that. Or when I'm going to call you back.
Right.
That's like, no, you can't say that. I know.
That's just like bye.
No, I don't say
That's just like bye. That's another word. That's another way to say
I
bye.
don't say
That's
that.
like saying I'm gonna call you back. I ain't gonna know that.
You know I'm not calling you back.
No.
You know that already.
No.
Something like that that's normal in the black culture. That's normal.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna hit you up.
Yeah.
Next month. But
Right.
however frequency I hit you up, that's what I'm saying. At work, I be like, yo, need anything? Not that I help. I just need to ask y'all that.
Yeah, because for me, the moment I feel like anything you ever did, said,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
even whether it was compromised, it could be tangible, not
Then you start
tangible. It
questioning
doesn't
why they
matter.
did it.
Then I start questioning everything I start questioning everything. Then I start feeling like I was the giver in the relationship, and you was just there to be fake and phony or for whatever your intentions were.
Hold
And I'm
up,
like,
hold
I'm
up,
good.
but then, okay.
But that's
So they fake and phony. And how much do you take fake and phony?
Oh, I'm
I'm trying to keep the peace now, because they family now.
Hold on.
So here-
Hold on. Did we say any names? Did we say any names?
No, but that's where I know that, okay, now, because I'm not going to allow you to be disingenuous multiple times. The very first time that you show me that this is who you are, I'm setting that boundary right then and there. So now I've level setting my expectations of you.
Yeah.
So now I don't expect genuineness from you. When I want somebody to keep it real with me, I know I'm not calling you.
But hold up, but the
When
thing
you want
is
somebody to be
that,
fake,
hold up,
And that's not what happens. The whole relationship is going to change.
hold up, but that's what I'm talking about.
What?
So you don't want to look like you cutting them off. You want to gas it up by saying, because you really cutting them off. You adjusting. You moving.
I don't think that's cutting.
not cutting
To
off.
me,
That's
cutting
not
somebody off, I'm never talking to you again.
Yeah.
If I see you in a setting, a cordial setting, I'm saying hi.
Oh,
That's it.
That's
Hey,
talking
more
That's
to
still
me.
talking. I'm not wanting to talk to him.
No, really?
If I would
I'm
walk
never
right
going
past
into
him.
a room and not speak to somebody, or they walk in and I'm sitting there and I don't speak. Even if they don't speak to me first. Hey, how you doing? That's it. It costs me nothing to say hi.
Mhm.
That don't cost me anything.
Yeah, but no, I'm not talking about. When I say
That was too much energy for me.
That was too much.
Way too much. It came from the diaphragm.
Too much into it. Like, you know how sometimes it's like eating the
I could have
last
saved
bit-
that breath
the
for
last-
somebody
Yeah, the
else.
last bit of nasty food,
Mhm.
and you gotta eat that. It's like that for me. Like,
No, but you know what? Let me ask this though. So staying on that topic, have you ever at any point in time, but really I'm really talking about in your adult life, been in the room or walked into a place where you cut off a relationship and that person is in the room? Explain.
how big you feel?
Yeah, explain that, because the way it goes to my mind, I like my it's like the
A
blood
vibe.
start boiling.
A vibe.
It's like a vibe, and they didn't say anything. You didn't say anything, but they just in the area.
yeah.
But your blood boil?
In order for me to cut you off like that, even if it's family, I got cousins that second, third cousins, we confrontation and I say hello and that's it, and I will go to.
That's what I mean.
I come talk to you.
That's cutting off.
Okay.
Yeah,
When they
that's
just say hello.
right.
No, when I say, okay, maybe I shouldn't use the term cut off because that's seem like it's too
Broad.
What I'm saying is that adjust.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sometimes you adjust. To me, that's like cutting off because it's not the same relationship.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's not the
You
same.
creating boundaries.
Right?
That's all you
No.
do.
Right. But I'm saying that's what I'm saying. You
Right.
dress it up by saying I'm creating boundaries.
Right.
Because what do boundaries do? They still roadblocks though.
That's right. It's cutting off.
No, it maintains control.
conversation, we got to know that that's all
Right.
We can all use those same terms.
All right.
So when I say cut
We all got
off,
this- yeah, we say the same
I'm
thing.
saying adjust, move in a certain way.
Mhm.
I used to see you every week, but now I don't see you like that. But when I see you, hey, how you doing? Keep on going. To me, that's a non-relationship to me. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So if I say to myself, you fake, in my mind, she fake, he fake, I don't fuck with them like that. To me, it's like, I don't even need to dress this up. Because if I say to myself, I ain't fucking with you like that, I really don't fuck with you like that. We ain't got to speak. We got to do all that. We got to do all those niceties if I choose not to. And if you choose not to, you have that right also.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But for me personally, if I don't mess with you, it's all right if you don't speak to me. I would prefer you not to speak to me, actually.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going
But don't
out.
speak to me every time. If you don't speak to me every time, don't speak to me.
Yeah, don't
Like,
yeah.
don't say, oh, I don't
They don't
speak
go
to
back
her.
and forth
And then
because Jazz
3
is
years
in
down
there.
the line, you
I feel
hide that. No, we don't speak.
Yeah, I mean, what's
do
the
that-
point?
that-
It's
I
lots of
understand
people that you related to,
Right.
that you used to be friends with,
That you're not.
that you
Yeah.
it's not even that deep. Yeah.
What do you mean by don't keep speaking to me? Like don't keep.
No, she talking about so.
If you don't
so the
speak
fact-
now,
so
don't
you walk in
speak
the
not
room. No,
speaking.
so you walk in the
Keep
room.
that same energy.
Yeah, you
Right.
walk in the room. You don't say nothing. I don't say nothing. Don't next week. Hey, Bonnie. Hey, no.
I'm not with that either.
No.
I'm not with that either.
Yeah.
No, it's good. We good.
Yeah.
I work with people like
Hold
that.
up, I don't like it
Walk
when
past
hold up,
you one
because
day, try to
no, because you know what the truth of the matter is, it shows their disingenuousness. Because if you don't speak, you don't speak. Don't. Well, I only spoke to her because no.
Right.
Well, they might
Yeah, I'm
have
not
felt
with
bad. You
that
don't know what
either.
they're going through. They might have felt bad. Like, man, I probably should have spoken. The next time they see you, then they speak.
But can
No, let's talk about the
Hold
time
up,
you
but
did
how
speak.
about no? That's right. How
No,
about
let's
we
go
big
back.
enough to say that when I see you?
Yo, last time I didn't speak to my bad, I didn't mean, I was
Exactly.
going through something, whatever the case is. But say something. Don't just act like you didn't just see me.
Right.
And then 2 seconds later,
But I'm supposed to accept whatever you put down.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
No, I'm not taking whatever you put down.
we are so good.
No.
We so good.
Yeah, and it's all right.
Yeah.
And it's all. But you know what? To answer your question,
Yeah.
though, for me,
Relationship pet peeve.
I don't necessarily my blood don't boil. It just makes me feel uncomfortable. And because I feel uncomfortable, I don't know what I might say or do based on how you act.
Right.
See, I might be in a good mood today, and you can almost might say anything, and I just in my mind do my little dumb sayings, and I'll be cracking up inside. Or I might be in one of those joins moods, and then once you say something, and then I'll be like, let me fucking I've been meaning to fucking tell you. You understand what I'm saying? So you just never, I don't know what I'm going to put out based on how you act to me.
Right.
Because I know the situation is not good. And another thing too, this is a fact. You ain't never in my house with that. Because I'm putting you out. So that means I have to be conscious that I'm in somebody else's house.
Right.
And I want to be respectful to that. I'm not at their house either. I don't.
Let's be clear.
Let's be 100. You got to be really fake for me to be at your house and you don't want me there.
I hear.
Yeah.
You gotta be real fake. You need an Oscar. What's that thing when they win them all? You need one of them. You know, a Tony, an Oscar.
But I
this,
think-
that.
right.
Yeah, you
But
need
I
that.
But I definitely think that's very dangerous too. Like, when you have a relationship like that, and you can feel yourself like in an uncomfortable. Sometimes you don't even know how you're gonna react.
Yeah.
That's the scary part. Like, it's scary. It's really scary for them too, because you really don't know.
I think
How
it
I'm gonna
depends on
react.
how important the relationship was that you cut off.
Well, that should
Like
be
if it's
talked
not
about then.
somebody, if it's not somebody that you was really, really close with, and somehow y'all just stopped speaking, and to me, that's not giving me. I'm not impacted by just saying.
Well,
how
that's
you-
why we said
the way you
family.
guys say.
Family and friends.
No, but I'm saying family too. It could be an
Sometimes
extended
you just don't have a
cousin
relationship.
that I just don't have a
Oh, no,
relationship
of course we're not talking
or
about them
they-
because they don't have the qualifications to make you uncomfortable or mad or make you well, boy, you talking about somebody that you had a relationship with. You
Right.
talking about somebody that
Right,
you done a situation with. Oh, we cut off.
Oh, IG cut
Right.
off.
So listen, that's it for this. We're gonna be going down to the wire. If y'all have any ideas, topics, whatever y'all want to talk about, DM us, and we'll be here every Sunday at 4 p.m.
All right.
Bye-bye.